Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to the finals of the FIDE Grand Prix 2022 in Belgrade, Serbia. Game number 1 between Andrikin and Fraport. It was a lifeless draw. All right. They played the 4 knights in the Scotch. Let's check it out. E4, E5, knight of 3, knight of 6. Okay, started out as Petrov. But with knight c3, knight c6, you transpose into the 4 knights of the Scotch. Takes. Bishop b4, knight takes e6. Takes and c6, bishop d3, normal. e5, bishop d2. Castles. Black takes on c3, takes on e4, takes on f6. Many elite players have played this line if they want to have a rest. Yeah, this is just a drawing line. Takes on e4, takes on b2, takes on c6, symmetrical pawn structure. Rook to b8, nothing special here. King d1, takes. A series of exchange. Look at the structure. Pawns for black, pawns for white. Same colored bishop, one rook each. Okay, both back ranks are weak. Just have to be extra careful with that one. Rook d8, control the d file. Bishop f3. The bishop protects in d1 so that the rook can move to b8, for example. Bishop into f5. Attacking c2. Counterplay for white. Rook to b7. Bishop takes on c2. Rook takes e7. White attacks the bishop. It also attacks a7, so it's a double attack. But black has this nice resource on e4 because the bishop on f3 is controlling the important d1 square. You cannot take the bishop. A big blunder for this one because it's checkmate on d1. Okay, so bishop e2, keeping an eye on the d1 square. g5, king safety, back rank is safe here. h3. Now, if white, for example, takes on a7, it's also possible, but probably he was worried about rook d2. If, let's say, you go king f1, then black can go bishop takes g2. So he went for h3, safety of the king, Luft. Escapes curve of the king on h2. a5, rook into a7, exchange of the rook. A little bit of a fight with rook e7, keeping the rook on the board. Rook takes a8 would have been an easy draw. Bishop at d5, hitting a2. Okay. Bishop f3, change, takes. f6, protecting g5. King g2. White has a bad pawn structure, but he can easily push the pawn on f4 and put the king on f3. So nothing much to be desired here. Rook to c8, rook a7, rook c5, supporting the pawn from the rank instead of the file. f4 takes and king into f3. Rook c3 check, king g4, threatening king f5, king f6, maybe a little bit made on a8 here. So rook a3, king f5, rook takes h3, a4 first, f3, takes on f6. Now white has a mate on a8, but black has this check on h6. King g5, back to h2, attacking f2. If you take the pawn on a5, for example, black also has to take on f2. If you play king f6 threatening mate on a8, black will just play h5. King can go h7. If, let's say, you take the pawn on h5, the rook attacks the pawn on a4. Rook on f5, for example, you take on a4, takes on f3. It's just draw. No matter what you do, right? King g5, rook h2, king f6, repetition of position, draw. Actually, after it was already decided from this line earlier after bishop f3. Most of the games here are drawn, except for a game by Karyakin and Vidit in Tata Steel. In that game, okay, here's the position. It was also equal after bishop f3, right? And here we did play king f8, bishop a6. Karyakin was a bit tricky with rook c3, rook a3, and then bishop d5, bishop b3. The bishop controls c2 and a2. So there's a pin on a7. Rook into a4, f3, c4, rook to a5. White took the pawn in c5 and went on to win in a bishop endgame, right? That extra pawn was enough to win the game. Okay, look at this. Okay, there was a change of the rook. Nice technique here by Karyakin. Bishop e4, c6, c7, a5, a4, king f2, king g2, king h2, bishop d3. Nice move. Bishop h3. The bishop goes to g4, and the king goes all the way to the queen side. After king b6, king e8, it's a win for white. Now has f6 right here. Okay, but this is very rare. Yeah, a rare win by Karyakin because of that blunder by Vidit at some point. Maybe he didn't need to play this king f8 compared to Rapport. Yeah, instead of king f8 in the Anderkin game, Rapport went for bishop f5 straight away. Okay. So it was already a draw in less than 20 moves, yeah, but he just wanted to put some more moves. Yeah. Right, so that was the first game. They were probably just sizing up, try to maybe reserve some energy. We might see a playoff or a tiebreaker in this finals. The winner gets 13 Grand Prix points. The loser gets 10. At this time, we report advancing to the finals. Temporarily, he has 10 points in Belgrade, plus the 7 points in Berlin. He's leading all players with 17. So Rapport actually has the higher chance of getting that one of the 2 slots in the candidates. All right, that was it for today. That was it for the finals. We were expecting a fight, but the players wanted to take a rest. We'll see what happens tomorrow in Game 2 of the FIDE Grand Prix 2022 Belgrade, Serbia. This is Coach Oliver. Stay safe, everyone. Bye-bye.